GPT 5.5 is officially here, and if you write code for living, you need to know what this model can or cannot do right now. While the new model feels like a leap in raw intelligence, it also comes with a terrifying 86% hallucination rate. Today I'm going to talk about all the specifications and benchmarks of this model and its exact pricing structure compared to the older models and the Claude models, so you know where to spend money right now. So let's dive in. Let's start with the biggest update of this model. The GPT 5.5 now has 1 million context window, which is massive for any daily workflow task that you want to do. For beginners, 1 million context window just means you can drop an entire software project thousands of lines directly into chat without pasting the content line by line. So if you are using any coding terminal and have massive logs for your coding projects, you can drop them directly into GPT 5.5 and then ask it why the app crashed last night. And this pricing is also available at half the standard API rate, so you can easily feed the entire context that you want in half the API cost. So this completely changes how we build apps. You no longer have to search for bugs manually. You just feed the whole folder to the AI and ask it to fix the architecture itself. Right now, this GPT 5.5 is not available for everyday free users, but soon it will be released to the responses and chat completion APIs with $5 per million tokens and $30 per million output tokens pricing. So as soon as it is going to release in the chat mode, you can test it freely by building full stack applications directly using its massive context window and test it also. Now let's talk about the token efficiency of this new model. So although this 5.5 model is priced higher than 5.4, OpenAI is claiming that it is intelligent and much more token efficient. Usually bigger AI models run slower and cost you a bigger fortune, but OpenAI changed the internal engine of this new model, giving it a much smarter agentic architecture which can plan before it even writes, which is also claimed in the official blog that GPT 5.5 delivers better results with fewer tokens than GPT 5.4. So instead of spitting out broken useless code that you have to fix yourself, it thinks ahead, writes exactly what you want, and then give the output. It saves you serious time and money. Now let's talk about the agentic coding capabilities of this new model. This new model completely dominates complex command line workflows and multi-step iteration planning while scoring 82.7% on HWE Benchmark Pro, which tests all these exact capabilities. And it absolutely crushes the Claude Opus 4.7 model, which manages only 69% score on this same test. This means whenever you are using this new model on a terminal command, the AI can autonomously install all the dependencies, fix environment variables, and run tests without you ever touching the keyboard. In the Expert WE benchmark as well, it scores 73%, which is an evaluation that tests long horizon coding tasks that takes hours to complete for even a senior engineer. However, in the pro evaluation of this SWE benchmark, it scores 58.6%, which is still underperforming related to the Claude Opus 4.7, which scores 64.3%. So it still lags a bit compared to the latest Claude model when it comes to resolving real-world GitHub issues and use cases. So you can use GPT 5.5 for automatic server management or infrastructure setup, but to fix deep Python logical bugs, you still can go for Claude Opus 4.7. Next, in the professional benchmarks like GTP, it scores 84.9%, which is better than all the frontier AI models of GPT, Claude, or Gemini. This evaluation specifically tests the AI models across the different industries and has 44 different professions in it. So GPT is proving that it has a massive understanding of the professional industries, their workflows, and complex system architectures. In the computer use and vision task as well in the OS World benchmark, it is scoring 78.7%, which is better than the earlier GPT model and the Claude model as well. This showcases that it has a new ability to actually operate systems and navigate computer interfaces visually. This means that this AI isn't just generating text. It can theoretically navigate a virtual machine, click buttons, and navigate the browsers to complete any task that you want. But if we look at the tool use benchmarks like Toolathon, it is still scoring around 55%, showing its ability to dynamically select and use external APIs still needs some improvement. But these benchmarks do not build actual applications. If we look at the developers' feedback of this new model, they are already pushing this new model to build massive, undocumented legacy systems. So far, the developer feedback is that the new model feels much faster, but the improvements on feature implementations are still not that good compared to the earlier 5.4 model. For some developers, it feels like a real scientist, meaning it can build hypotheses, search for edge cases, and traces cross-file dependencies automatically. So whenever we are inheriting a messy project, we can first ask it to build the architecture and then start coding and building the entire project. This AI can simply track where your changes are being made in your databases, cascade through your entire front end, which can save you hours of manual reading and testing. Some developers are already implementing full online first features in SQL using React Native, and the 5.5 model was able to do it in one shot, but 5.4 model was not able to do it. Syncing a local SQL database to a front-end system is not that straightforward. It requires state management and connections with the different SQL servers, and GPT 5.5 is able to bridge that gap perfectly. Some users have also tested it against the latest DeepSeek V4 model and the Kimi GLM models, and the results are that all these other models are missing the nuances of project, but GPT 5.5 is able to perfectly build them. This shows its improvement in the internal reasoning engine that GPT is also claiming, which can help it to grasp the different relationships between the architecture of the project. So next time when you need to design a complex relational database system, you can just use GPT 5.5 to do the actual heavy lifting of the entire architecture. But all is not green. There are some problems that the developers are also finding, that the model truly doesn't reason, verify itself, and catch its own mistakes. They're saying that it misses obvious errors, ignores contradiction, and loses the important details, and only fixes what we are asking directly. So while it outputs syntax faster, it doesn't truly find its own logical assumptions before giving the output. So this is repeating from the same code regression issue that was there in the 5.4 version, which proves that simply scaling the architecture and adding more parameters does not automatically fix the foundational logical assumption reasoning. So while building any project, you must write some strict unit tests, because if you blindly push the GPT 5.5 code directly to production, it can break very easily without you knowing anything. So there is a need for these new AI models to focus on the actual logical reasoning instead of just inflating the context window and the parameter sizes. Next, if you are a front-end developer that converts Figma wireframes and architectures into codes, then you need to avoid this new model right now. Developers are saying that the visual QA of this model is not good. It flags everything as cybersecurity, while the older version was working perfectly fine. So because this model has heavy safety filters, it flags basic user interfaces as cybersecurity threats, completely blocking your workflows with fake security errors. So OpenAI has aggressively locked down the visual elements and added more strict safety layers to avoid enterprise liability and litigations, which makes the entire visual capability and reasoning completely useless for UI testing. So for now, you can stick to Claude Opus 4.7 if you need an AI that can reliably read text from an image or debug your visual layout shifts. Always test your visual prompts manually before you write any API pipeline, or you will waste hours debugging your. Now we reach the most dangerous technical flaw of this new model, which happens when you push its reasoning engine too hard. When using the extra high thinking settings on the obscure topics, this new model is showing very high hallucination rate, which is 86%, which just makes it a pathological liar. So what this hallucination means is, instead of returning that I don't know, it will confidently invent any fake Python libraries and generate completely fake documentation URLs. So the AI is just guessing with extreme confidence, and forcing it to think longer just makes it better to fake the data smoothly. So whenever it is rolled out to all the users, for now you can disable the high thinking mode and always search the references for everything that it is using on Google before you use any of the code that is generated by GPT 5.5 in your terminal. Otherwise, this AI can trick you to debug a code that is never existing, but it is completely a fake piece of code that is imagined by this model. Now if you look at the official system card of this new model, you can see that OpenAI actually knows about these behavioral issues. They have directly mentioned that their analysis estimates that GPT 5.5 is slightly more misaligned than GPT 5.4 thinking across several categories, but just mark it as low severity misalignment. So they are actually hiding a very quiet warning inside their own official release documents. This means that GPT 5.5 is more likely to ignore your system instructions, break out of its design persona, and refuse to follow strict sandbox rules. So if you are building autonomous AI agents using this new model, this kind of misalignment is highly dangerous. An agent that ignores system instructions can accidentally execute a dangerous command and wipe your local database if you do not manually put some heavy restrictions on what it can execute. So always use read-only APIs and strict sandbox containers while you test this new model on any of your agentic applications. So now let's talk about the pricing of this new model, which is higher than the earlier version of GPT 5.4. So while OpenAI is claiming that it is both more intelligent and much more token efficient, the community is already raging, saying that GPT 5.5 is literally 2x the price of the earlier model. So at every 1 million output token, it is charging $30, while other models like Claude Opus 4.7 keeps it at $25 per million tokens. So this price hike means that GPT 5.5 is now 20% more expensive than the Claude's latest model. So if you don't know about what this 1 million output tokens means, token is just the tiniest unit of word. So one word can have 1 to 2 tokens, and if you are asking it to write a 10,000 line of a code, it will drain your entire API budgets in seconds. So if you are using this new model, you need to optimize your prompts to demand strict modular code scripts rather than long pieces of codes and comments, which will cost you a massive amount of API costs. So we need to architect how to write token efficient prompts that can save you money on every output that you are generating. And because of this extreme pricing, your favorite coding wrappers are also becoming expensive and slightly nerfing your access behind paywalls. For example, Cursor already confirmed that GPT 5.4 has been max mode only for all users, and that the legacy team and enterprise request-based plans must also use the max mode of GPT 5.0 and the other future frontier models, which includes Opus's 100 families as well. GitHub Copilot is also moving in the same direction. They have stripped premium models like GPT 5.4 and Claude Opus models from their student plans, removed Opus models from Pro, kept Opus 4.7 only on Pro Plus, and launched it with 7.5x premium request multiplier. This isn't just corporate greed. The companies are physically running out of the compute power, and Nvidia GPUs across the world are completely maxed out because of these 1 million context window that is there in all these models. Subscription-based AI services are going expensive than ever, needing that we should also look at the local AI systems that we can directly download, or put strict budget constraints on these API keys if you are using them in your projects. Finally, let's address the biggest rumor on the internet right now, that GPT 5.5 would be able to autonomously upgrade itself and make code changes to improve its own architecture. But OpenAI is explicitly saying that GPT 5.5 did not meet their thresholds for high capability in AI self-improvement. So for AI self-improvement, that evaluations are indicating that like its predecessor models, GPT 5.5 does not have a plausible chance of reaching a higher threshold. So it cannot fix its core architecture of transformers. Yes, it is an incredibly powerful 1 million context window AI model, but fundamentally it still is just a static text predictor. So stop worrying about AI taking your job tomorrow and instead start using it to automate your own AI workflows so you can focus only on the high-level system architecture. You can start using these APIs to build your own custom AI agents and handle the repetitive tasks that you hate doing today. I've dropped the links to all these official documents and blog posts in the description and pinned comments below. Just start exploring this new model today and follow the channel for more such AI builds, updates, and workflows.